Well, it's that time of week again for another From Tom's Desk. One of the things, even though traffic down here has gone a bit doolally with all the people coming down for the winter and all that, the one thing I've noticed running errands and going to malls here is Christmas has a lot less decoration in the United States than it does in Thailand. I mean, there's some Christmas music and a bit of this, but it's not that junky, crappy, loud, bodacious stuff they put up all over Thailand. So actually, this is sort of the first Christmas in a whole bunch of years that things are sort of muted. Now, speaking of Thailand, I read all the news feeds. Actually, I probably see more of news of Thailand not being in Thailand because nothing here is blocked. And reading all the world's papers about, the prince's divorce and corruption and education and all this stuff. It's the usual. They talk about putting an end to corruption, education, healthcare. They talk about all this stuff, but that's all that gets done. At the end of the day, is talking. Nothing seems to have improved. They're going to do this, they're going to do that. We should elect governors by the province. We shouldn't because then there's going to be more corruption and people are going to buy, and pay people off and all of that. From my way of thinking, until the government is decentralized, there's never, you can call it a democracy, but, the Ministry of the Interior appoints everybody. And it's and then they were talking about the TAOs, Tamil Administrative Offices, the Obatas and the Obajas, and, eliminating certain things. Those are the jobs everybody in Thailand wants because that's where you really get rich. Because every, bot that's supposed to go into a pothole, a big percentage of it goes into pockets. So, it's such a total mess, and everybody talks about it like, okay, tomorrow, next week, next year, we're going to change all this stuff. Well, sadly, it took a long time for it to get that way, and it's like the analogy I use is, it takes a few years to get fat, and you can't get rid of it in a week. And the same thing is true in Thailand. It's taken time to get there. The same thing with Buddhism in Thailand. People are talking about, the monks in Thailand this, the monks in Thailand that, the monks in Thailand. Well, first of all, since they're part of the government, they're going to be part of the problem. If Thailand wants to be a Buddhist country, fine and good. But then let the Sangha keep the Vinaya and run the Bhikkhu Sangha by the Vinaya. And, there's no such thing as a hierarchy in Buddhism. And as you create a hierarchy, the people want power. And with power, people get corrupted. So, it's like here in America. Everybody, you choose the station you want to listen to by which side you're on. The other day, this normalization with Cuba, which hasn't happened in 50 years since Castro took over. You listen to one station or another station, everybody is happy. Surveys show everybody's pleased, everybody wants normalization. Then you listen to the other station, and nobody wants. Everybody's angry and everybody's up in arms and all that. Actually, what I've found back here in America, basically the same in Thailand, I get my best news from Al Jazeera. Everybody has an interest in this stuff. And sadly, whatever, but getting the real story is a real pain in the ass. And as the year comes to a close, there it is. Everybody's making promises, everybody's exercising their mouth. But in the end, there's very few people making things better. Everybody can point out a problem, but nobody can work on a solution. Anyhow, as the year winds to a close, y'all take care. Everybody stay sane. And I'm wrapping up in about 5 minutes, so y'all take care. Bye.